Alvin, hade du med den? Ja, men svinga och hämta den då ligger den där borta. Skynda dig!
Okay, welcome to Viking Cup 2018, and this is the first final between boys 16, and you have the Copenhagen Rugby Alliance from Denmark in blue tops, and in green tops you have Erikslund from Stockholm, Sweden. And it's a kick-off, and Erikslund is putting up forward. Erikslund's playing the ball out wide on the left-hand side. They're going good turnover there from Erikslund. A crash ball and a good offload. Unlucky, he was knocked on forward, and there will be a scrum, says the ref. So the tournament this year has been really successful. We had 55 teams in the Viking Cup. And it's a youth tournament played in Partille, Sweden, hosted by Spartacus RUFC. And you're watching the final, boys 16, and this is the first scrum. And it's KRA. Oh, there's a lot loose ball on the ground. He recovered good. Rocking over. And the Danes have picked it up. And there is an inside ball, crash ball. Making some good ground here. KRA is obliged to use the ball there. And the ball is played out. Now it's coming inside the pitch. So, yeah, it's still... The both team has been quite good to recycling the ball. Now they ship it wide to the left. And here's an overlap. There comes the pass and see. Good offload. And number 25 in KRA is away. No, he's caught. And it's very close to the line. See, and yeah, we had a turn. It's a penalty for high tackle. And the ref is stopping the time. So it's a discussion with the assistant ref on the touch judge. And the ref won't have a word with number 11 in Erikslund for that tackle. So in youth rugby, it's security first, safety first, and a tackle should be under the shoulder. And KRA chooses to kick the penalty to touch, and there will be a line out. And since that kick came from a penalty, it will be KRA's ball. And they have recycled from a driving maul, and now they play out to the right. And there's a good recycling to see if they can produce some quick ball here. They choose to go inside, go back again to the left. Looked a bit isolated, but... And there's another penalty for... So it's not releasing the tackler. Penalty given. So KRA chooses to play this one. This is a very good attacking position here. They do the inside pass again. Erikslund is having quite good defense here, holding out on the line. And here the ball is played wide. So KRA, they have an overlap here on the side, and maybe we have the first. It looks like we have the first try of the final. Yes, it's 5-2-0. First try for KRA, which is Copenhagen's Rugby Alliance. So it's a mixture of 3 Danish clubs around Copenhagen. So they will be playing from Hundestedt, CSR, and probably Nanook as well. Yeah, of course, and we have Speed, which is one of the major clubs in Denmark. So they have several players on that team. And try score was number 14 for KRA. So that means they take the lead in the final. The conversion is out, so it's still 5-0 to KRA. So for new viewers, you're watching the final in the boys 16 in the youth tournament Viking Cup. And we are broadcasting it. It's in Sweden, Partille. So we see Erikslund has been pushed back for the first 5 minutes. So we'll see if they could come up with some attacking rugby here. That ball wasn't 10, so the kickoff has to go 10 meters. That's why you have the dotted line. So that gives the opponents an option if they want a scrum in the middle or a new kick, and they've chosen a scrum in the middle. So we see if they split the back line. No, they keep the back on the right-hand side. So KRA with a put in, ball, and ball has to come out through the legs of the second row. So there will be a new scrum, and it's the KRA ball. Okay, here we go again. Scrum is good. Ball is played out to the right. And as a good tackle there from Erikslund, but the good recycling. You see the man rolling on the floor to get the ball available. Take it in. This big player, number 19, who's carried a lot of ball for KRA. And it's knocked on, but it's a penalty. I think there was a foot in the ruck, which is not allowed. Number 20 going through. He's a bit isolated there. And they managed to keep, no, another penalty, not rolling away. So now the Danish team shows us to play this penalty. And they've been using the scrum quite a lot. But now they decided to go wide with the backs. So it's a bit flat back line there. Ball is knocked on, but it's knocked backwards, so it's still play. And that's a good turnover from Erikslund. So a small chip from the scrum half. And it's making very good ground. At good covering defense by the number 25. And some speed legs. And that's the ball was in touch there. But good Good effort from Erikslund with that kick and a good defensive work from KRA covering that kick. So we have a line out and Erikslund's first throw-in. And this is actually first time Erikslund is on the Danish half. So we will see what happens from this. So it's chosen a short option, but referee is not happy with that. I think he's calling it as a free kick. Free kick for closing the gap, I think. So it's a free kick to the Danes. And we'll see what option they choose here. Last time they chose to go wide. And they're putting the inside ball back again on number 19, who's been doing some lots of ball carrying. And another inside ball to number 3. And in mid-ground, so the ball is available. So they're really putting on some pressure here on Erikslund now. And the ball was passed out wide. And they get good numbers in the back line here, so we see if... But Erikslund is doing some good counter-rucking there, so the ball is actually won over from Erikslund, and this is a very good attacking ball. So take it into contact, and see if they could also recycle pretty well. And here's a penalty for offside. So you have to be on the hindmost foot of the scrum or breakdown. And here's an overlap, and it's a good attacking ball here for Erikslund. And we'll see what's happening here. And we got the try for Erikslund. It's 5 points, it's 5 even, and it's right under the post. Very good. So they got a chance for another 2 points here, Erikslund, so which will take them up in the lead. Yes, so it's 7-5 to Erikslund. Now that's a bit of a shifter because the possession has been in KRA's hand most of the time, but rugby isn't the sport where you could sort of ease back. So now it's Erikslund from Stockholm in the lead in this boys 16 final here at Viking Cup. Okay, we're back in action. Erikslund is kicking from inside the 22, and it's picked up by the number 25 in KRA, and he's looking for space, passes it out wide. And he got a player outside him, but he chooses to go into contact. And ball is lost again, so it's a turnover again from Erikslund, who's been pretty successful in doing these turnovers. So they're going on the blind side. And it was very close to the line there, but they kept it well in. So Erikslund is on the attacking front foot ball here. And they managed to recycle it, running a bit sideways, but they managed to get the ball out wide left. And at the moment, Erikslund looks really on the front foot here. And we're on the left-hand side. There's an injured player down. Coach is checking it in. Game continues as the ref has a small chip over, and it went to over the dead ball line. So the reason why Erikslund took that kick was because they had a penalty advantage. So that means if it doesn't work out the way they've planned with the kick, the referee will take the play back to where the original penalty was. And here you have a rugby tradition that you're always saluting the opponent or fellow player if there is an injury. So we hope it isn't too bad, but the player has to be carried off the field. So we have a penalty for Erikslund. We have now it's 7-5. And we're coming up to the last minute of this first half because we play 15 times 2. And Erikslund is on the move again here, passing it out wide. And we are not sure if this is a try. Referee is consulting the touch judge. So we have to see if there is another Erikslund try or if they will go to probably this will be the last. Yeah, it's a try given for Erikslund. So they take the lead now with 12-5. So 12-5, and it's crucial just before halftime. And it's number 10, Kasper Rechka, who's going to kick the ball for another option, 2 points. So it's 12-5, and if he puts this over, we have a 14-5 lead. Now he struck it, sliced it to the right. So we'll have a break now, and we will be shortly back for the second half. Thank you very much.
Folks, can I just have you clear off the line a bit? Give me a nice meter.
So we are back in the action, the second half of this boys 16 final in the Viking Cup Youth Tournament 2018 is about to kick off. We have Erikslund from Sweden in green and white tops, and they're in the lead, 12-5 versus the Danish team Copenhagen Rugby Alliance. And Copenhagen Rugby Alliance is a team formed up of players from different clubs in the Copenhagen region. So here we go, and it's another 15 minutes of action. It's good pickup. And we see if Copenhagen can come back again. They started the first half really strong, but Erikslund was the team who won in the end. Came out from the first half with 2 tries in the end. So it's 12-5 to Erikslund, and KRA gets a penalty. Take a quick tap, and KRA see if they used. Now he's going on his own. A good offload from the floor, and you see some big ball carrying from Copenhagen. But Erikslund has been really good in the counter-rucking, so but KRA managed to get the ball out, and they got a bit of an. Well, they used it. New recycling, the play of 10 to pod waiting. And it's a small dummy pass from the prop, and he's going down to the ground. And the balls is recycled. Now here comes Erikslund with another counter attack, and the ref says it's good. So we have a turnover ball here for the Swedes. And a kick from the fly half in Erikslund, and it good hands from the fullback in Copenhagen. And here you see some speedy legs down on the floor, but Erikslund is... so you get a penalty for using the hand, and you're not allowed to use the hand in a ruck. So that gives Erikslund a penalty, and it looks like they're going to kick it for touch, so they get a good line out and a good attacking position. Ball didn't find touch, so Copenhagen gets it, and it kicks it away. But ball is kept in play by Erikslund, and they're moving it to the right. Yeah, it was dropped on the floor, but it was backwards. So referee says play on. And now we're in for a break here, and he's almost run through, but there was a try-saving tackle. So Erikslund still has the ball. They got lots of men out here on the left-hand side. Denmark are regrouping their defense. And the ball comes out. Now he chooses to go on his own. And the ball is loose on the floor. And it looks as a penalty again for using the hand in the ruck. So it's a really good attacking position here for Erikslund. And if they manage to score here, they will put a really tough grip on this final. So the ball is available, and they use it, and they still don't use the men outside. So that's often the case in youth rugby, that you're a little bit too eager to run on your own, even when you have good numbers on the outside. Somehow they managed to keep that ball alive. And they're only 2 meters out now from the Copenhagen line. And here we go. And number 10. And it's a lovely try there from Erikslund. And the number 10, Kasper Rechka, who has been really good in this game. So that takes us up to 17-5. So it's 17-5 to Erikslund, and well, things aren't over yet, but KRA needs to change something here if they wants to get their hands on the silverware. But at the moment, it's Sweden and Erikslund who are looking to be the winners of boys 16. But we still have over 10 minutes to go, so lots of things can happen.
Yeah, I played since 1980. I think it was my first.
And we watch this conversion from Erikslund, number 10, and unlucky he didn't get the height on that ball. It's a little bit breeze here actually against blowing again. So it's 17-5 for Erikslund in this boys 16 final. So Copenhagen Rugby Alliance, let's see if they can do something. They don't look too interested actually to get the kickoff going if they're down, but maybe it's just tactic. So let's see what happens here. And from a kickoff for rugby, the ball has to go 10 meters, so that's why the Erikslund player are behind the dotted line. It's a kick a center field, and it's taken down very good by Erikslund, but it gets 2 KRA players on him, but they managed to recycle it. And a small offload, but he's held up here, and referee is blowing there for security because you don't want a player to come in that situation. The player left the ground, and that could be a dangerous situation. So referee chooses to have a word here with the 2 captains. So it's a scrum to Erikslund because the referee blow his whistle for safety, and therefore it's the attacking side scrum. And they had a little talk with the captains there. The boys have played, it's their fifth or sixth game, depends how many group games they had. So there are some tired legs here in both teams. So and here's the scrum. Erikslund are pushed back a little bit. In youth rugby, you're only allowed to push the scrum 1.5 meters. So that's also one of the precautions, safety. And here's a knock-on, and it's an advantage for KRA. And referee decides that it's no good advantage, so he blows down, and it's a scrum for Copenhagen. So KRA is the team in blue and yellow, which is normally Sweden's color, but in this case they are flying blue and yellow, and in the green and white you have Erikslund, and Erikslund is a team just outside Stockholm, Täby, one of the biggest youth clubs in Sweden, and they've been going on several years now, so they have produced some really good rugby players coming up, and you will probably see lots of these boys on the Swedish national team, and of course it's the same with the KRA. And it's KRA chosen to go inside. A good offload, and they got numbers out if they choose to use it. And let's see if they lost their speed there, and the number 21, so Erikslund is able to scramble their defense. And we see what happens here. KRA, they lost the ball. It's a turnover again from Erikslund, and it's been significant for this game that KRA has lost quite a lot of balls in the breakdowns. So the Erikslund coach must be happy. And here's another turnover, but he is diving on the ball, which is not allowed in rugby. So referee gives a penalty. And he takes it back because he thinks the player didn't do a properly restart. And here we go again. The kick for the ship for option. but it didn't find touch or didn't find any players except for the Erikslund, who just kicks it back. And I think they're gonna keep on kicking now because we only have 5 minutes left, and they have a pretty big lead, 17-5. So it's a 12-point lead, and Erikslund can sit back and watch things here. So we have a line out, and it's a Danish ball. The Danes threw it in, and they have had a pretty good line out in the tournament. So we'll see how they will attack from this position. And it looked a bit unstraight, but the referee allows it. And they're trying to play the ball wide. And there's some good hands here. And it's number 25 has been showing some great speed, and he's still on his legs, but get caught. And now it's a maul, but KRA managed to get the ball out. And now the rain comes down, so we will have some tough conditions here. So it's been raining, and it's a penalty to KRA. It has been, yesterday we had some beautiful sunshine, but today we had some skies. So pitch is pretty wet, and as you might see, the rain is coming as well here. So it's Erikslund on the attack, and they keep the ball alive through some good offloading. So they're in the KRA 22. A bit isolated there, but they managed to recycle the ball very well. And let's see if they use it wide. Unlucky, there's an unlucky bounce forward. So there's a knock on, and there will be a Danish scrum. So, yeah, hopefully this is just a temporary showers. And we have a scrum in the, well, on the 22-meter line, for being exact. And Copenhagen's pushing it, and the referee blows it up. I think he thought the ball went out the wrong way. So we will have a new scrum. And that's... KRA has been looking quite strong in the scrum, but they haven't managed to use that in any way of getting points. So it's a free kick. And it doesn't know. Yeah, and now the skies are really opening. So we see... If we see some more, yeah, it's recycled very well by KRA, and they put the kick option up, and they see what happens when it's wet. The ball was dropped forward by fullback, so there was a little clever kick there from the Danish, which put them in a good attacking position on the right-hand side. Just over the half-meter mark, so they make some really good ground there. So we have a scrum, and it's KRA after a kick. And they managed, that's referee blows it up because the scrum is wheeling. So he will reset the scrum, as it often happens in rugby. For an old scrum player as me, I certainly enjoy the scrums, but for the crowd, maybe to see lots of a reset scrum is not the best commercial for rugby. But scrum is important platform to play from, and that's a solid scrum. And now they're not allowed to drive it anymore. It's 1.5 meter, and the ball comes out, and they manage. But it was knocked forward, and this is in these weather conditions, the ball gets very slippery.
Greens are winning though. Greens have a
So we have a new scrum, and it's for Erikslund, and we're still on the halfway line, so game isn't moving very much now. And with Erikslund in this solid solid 17-5 lead in this boys 16 finals. They are quite happy, I think, that the Danes are pushing the scrum back, but and there's a penalty for I think it says for collapsing the scrum, but so it's a penalty to Copenhagen Rugby Alliance, and this very well be a good chance for them to score, put some points, more points on the board. They only have 5, and there was the opening try of the game. So a little chip over. And it's man. So they still got the ball, and they played wide inside the 22. And let's see if they can get it out once more. They're putting a lot of people into the breakdown, and they played out left. So they're still on the move. Start getting close to the touchline, and there's a penalty. So I couldn't really see what the referee was giving it for, but he's taking a quick tap. And now they're just 5 meters out from the try line, and there's another penalty, not moving away. So you need to roll away as a tackler, because then if you stay down, you delay the game. So see how long the referee will allow these penalties to continue. Oh, and that's really bad, and that's the final whistle. So congratulations to Erikslund and the 2018 years champions of the Viking Cup, and very good effort from Copenhagen Rugby Alliance. So we wish them best luck. But Erikslund wins the game with 17-5 and are the champions of the Viking Cup Boys 16 2018. Thank you very much, and we will shortly be back with the Boys 18 final. So welcome to Partille, Sweden and Viking Cup 2018, and we've just been watching the Boys 16 final, which was won by Erikslund by 17-5 against the Copenhagen Rugby Alliance from Denmark. Erikslund is from Stockholm, Sweden. So, and you see the two teams are celebrating each other off, and I guess there will be some celebrations on the way back up to Stockholm.